Here we are with yet another Trump rally descending into chaos, this time in San Jose, California. This happened on Thursday, June 2nd, 2016. And as you can see by the video in the background, these people were behaving like animals. And of course, aside from what the media will try to tell you, this was not Trump supporters causing all of these problems. These were anti-Trump protesters. This happened, the majority of the footage that has been seen on TV and all throughout social media happened after a Trump rally. As people were leaving, they were accosted by angry mobs of people. You know, a lot of people had Mexican flags, throwing eggs at the woman, breaking the egg on the woman's face. Now, in one of the videos, you have a guy in the background talking about, oh, you're antagonizing them because the woman was outside of the actual, I guess it's a hotel lobby or whatever, where the air quotes protesters. And before I go any further in my explanation of what's going on, these people are not protesters. These people are paid provocateurs, rioters, destructive, inhuman beasts. That's what they are. They're not protesters, okay? They're masquerading under the guise of being protesters, but really, they're just here to behave like animals. They're just here to do things that they think they can get away with because they have the shield of being against Trump. So they know the media will more often than not be on their side. The media won't sit there and say that these people are not Trump supporters. They're not going to say that. They're going to just link all of the violence to Trump and say that he's the one inciting it. He is the reason why all this is going on. But all of that goes against liberal logic. Just like the guy who was inside of the actual lobby and the woman was outside with all these air quotes protesters. She had a Trump jersey on and she was kind of like turning her back to him so they could see the word Trump on the back. And then that kind of made them be more angry. And then the guy that was inside was saying that, oh, you're antagonizing them. You're egging them on. You're stupid. It's like, look, see, liberals hear that and may agree with it. But here's the thing about that. Aren't liberals the same one that say that a woman can just walk around the streets completely nude in the middle of the night and it's not provoking rape? Right? I mean, aren't they the same ones that say that? Aren't they the same ones that say that a law that allows men to come into the women's restroom without any kind of vetting process? Because before, if a man, just a regular, average, everyday Joe, dressed normally, would go into a women's restroom, there would be some kickback. Hey, what are you doing in here? You shouldn't be in here, right? But now it's like a free pass. Come on in, sir, with your beard, with your 6 foot tall frame, looking like a male, not looking like a woman at all. Come on in, because if I say you can't come in, then that means I am committing a hate crime against you. They'll say, oh, well, it's not encouraging or inviting the rapist or the molester to the restroom, right? It's not encouraging the rapist or molester to a woman when she's walking around at night in the bad neighborhood completely nude or halfway nude. But then when it comes to the Trump situation and this woman who had got egged and spit on and everything else, then they'll say, oh, well, she had on the Trump jersey and then she was pointing to it. So that means that it's okay for her to get egged and spit on. That's what they'll tell you, but it doesn't make any sense. See, they'll pick and choose what they want to apply certain rules to and what they don't. They change the rules as the game goes along. And this is why these things continue to happen, because if this was the other way around, if you had Trump supporters behaving like this at a Bernie Sanders rally and or a Hillary Clinton rally, which, by the way, you have never seen. You have never seen Trump supporters go and disrupt a Hillary rally or a Bernie rally. The only people that protest or disrupt or rabble rouse at a Bernie rally or a Hillary rally are people that don't support Trump. That's the only people that heckle Hillary, you know, just like the situation where Bill Clinton got heckled in Philadelphia, where people in the crowd asked him about the super predators comment that his wife Hillary made back in the 90s as it relates to young black gangbangers. He scolded them. He scolded them like there was no tomorrow. And I supported him on that because he said, you guys are supporting the people that take the black lives as you say matter. Right? Imagine if that was Donald Trump saying that. Imagine it. Imagine the coverage from the media. And why would it be different coverage when it's the same thing being said? Maybe it's because certain people don't want a conservative person to get in there. Maybe it's because a certain group of people want to have things the way they want it. You have international bankers with their hand in the mix. You have all kind of people high up in power, big time politicians, big time money men. They all want to have the way they've been doing things remain the status quo, and they don't want any changes. So they'll allow these people at these air quotes protests to continue to protest because that just helps them and their final goal. At least it does in their mind. But here's the thing about that. This is a unique situation. I think maybe in the past, this may have worked more, trying to do the whole voter intimidation thing, just like they did in the past with the KKK. It's the same thing going on today. You got a lot of these illegal immigrants, right? Speaking Spanish, waving the Mexican flag. You get people that do not contribute to society in a meaningful way. These people are the ones out there saying, hey, you're taking away our power. And what's their power? Oh, their power is to be grievance mongers, to say, hey, this person was racist. This person was sexist. And you know what? I'm going to sue them. I want affirmative action. I want a high minimum wage. Why? Because I fail to have the skills necessary to be able to rise in society. And I don't want to go out there and get these skills either. I just want to be lazy and have everyone else in society that is productive produce for me, and I just consume. That's what they want. That's the whole big thing behind what they're doing. People blocking access to the road that goes to a Trump rally or RNC convention in California. This is what they do. And it's just going to ramp up as it gets closer to the election because nothing is really being done to these people. You know, Obama's not saying anything against it, really. You got Obama going on TV talking about Donald Trump was like a game show host, but not talking about the real issues that are going on. You got men now all jeering together, beating up on women, throwing eggs, you know, punching people in the face, sucker punches, bloodying up people's noses. All the people that are the assailants are not Trump supporters, but yet Trump is the one that is being blamed. How does that make any sense? The Trump supporters are not the ones doing it. And the thing about it is, some people will justify these actions as something that has to happen because Trump is dangerous in his speech. He's dangerous and he's reckless and he causes people to die. Nothing can be further from the truth. I mean, you're talking about banning Muslims for a period of time because we can't get the vetting process situated. I mean, what's wrong with that? Of course, there's a more PC way to say it, but the reality is that the United States, right after you said that a few months ago, the United States actually restricted travel from Iraq and Afghanistan. If that's what's going on, then how can you say that Trump is wrong for saying what he said? We got to be able to get the security of the country under control. You got people overseas that are blowing up airports, they're blowing up schools, they're blowing up city blocks, wherever they want to be. That's causing the death, not someone who's trying to protect life, right? Talking about Planned Parenthood and how they get federal funding, even though they've killed millions of babies since 1973 Roe v. Wade, right? You're trying to protect life. So how is that damaging life? How is that causing people to get killed when you say you want to have more people living and you don't want to direct federal funds directly to a place that is responsible for taking a lot of life, millions of them over the years? So this is just more BS from the left. It will continue because you got Obama who won't say anything about it. He'll support it. He'll have guys like DeRay McKesson, the Black Lives Matter leader, paid protester and agitator. I saw an interview with him actually today. You know, I don't like Black Lives Matter, of course, but I watched the interview because I was curious. I wanted to see what he was going to say about Black Lives Matter and just his journey in general. This guy said that he was getting paid $110,000 as a school administrator, and he quit that to become a paid protester, activist, public speaker, etc. And my thing is, if you were getting paid 110 and you quit that to do what you're doing now, I mean, how much are you really getting paid? It's got to be over 100 or at least close to it. It's more than what the average Joe makes. So, I mean, who's paying the money? You know, you got people like George Soros who've come out and say what's going on. I think Jay-Z and Beyonce donated $1.5 million through their company called Tidal to Black Lives Matter. All kind of GoFundMe scams on the internet. All of that stuff is going on. It's big money in rabble rousing. How many people do you think that were out there at San Jose got paid to be there? I'm willing to bet many of them were, but yet here we are talking about how conservatives are the bad guys and Trump supporters are the bad guys. I can't tell. It's clear who the bad guys are. I mean, the video is irrefutable. People holding American flags, behaving properly, well-dressed, well-groomed, all different races, colors, creed, nationalities, sexual orientations, everything are represented at Trump rallies as supporters. When you got these protesters, they like have little groups. That's like a jail, racially divided. Mexicans, blacks, whites, and they behave as hives when they're separate. And their mission from the commander of the hive is to attack. And we all must suffer for it. So I just want to vent about that right quick. I don't have anything else to say. So what do you think? Do you think this is another example of the behavior of these so-called protesters, which are really just rabble rousers, rioters, agent provocateurs, cretins, disgusting people? Do you think that their goal is to undermine Trump? Do you think they're being paid by someone with deep pockets, a George Soros type of person? Or do you think they're justifying what they're doing? Do you think that Trump is a cancer to the world and he must be stopped at all costs? So squelching free speech, getting into the realm of fascism, and all of that is fair game if the goal in their mind is a good one. Whatever your comments are, let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.